Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we've got the mighty AU behind us. She's looking a bit sad, she's a bit neglected. So it's been a freaking long time since you guys have seen this car. It's been sitting in the backyard just doing nothing. Covered in spider webs, looking disgusting, covered in dust. But this car is going to be getting a big revival, and I can't wait because this whole car is going to change and it's going to look insane. So in today's video, first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull apart the rear end and we're going to see how bad our diff is, because our diff did break on the last track day. So one thing I actually have done off camera is I've actually dropped the arse another 1.5 inches down. So we're actually tucking the rear tire almost. So after the track day, our skirt was like ripped off, hanging down. So we fixed that, we ditched the side pipe and we went for the rear exit. It sounds so much better, much quieter, but so much better. So we fixed the skirt, we fixed all this side up. Over here, we have another diff center, which I had a spare, and we have professionally locked it. And this is actually the original diff center that came out of this car, and I put the locker from my old E-Series into this, and that lasted a couple of hours at Calder, but not the whole duration. So you can see we still have all the drift damage on the side. We're gonna do the diff, and then once the diff is out, I'm gonna paint the wheels. Now the wheels are going white, and the reason why is because we are wrapping this car in, or we're actually doing a paint on livery, but stickers as well. And we're going to turn this car into a V8 supercar icon, or my own take on it. It's going to look awesome. So a lot of you guys will probably know from the last video, or one of the last videos, you guys will probably see I was showing what car we're going to be turning it into livery wise, and I can't freaking wait because it's been a big car, part of my childhood, and a family friend of ours used to race that car. I can't wait to actually get started on that. But first of all, we're going to do a lot of mechanical stuff, make sure the car is sound. We still have a breaking up issue to sort. Don't know if we'll get to that in today's video, but the main part of it's going to be ripping the arse end out, seeing how bad the diff is. I have established it is a diff because if you turn each axle, they do rotate backwards and forwards, and they do rotate the tail shaft too, which is indicating that the welds on this diff had broken. So the spider gears had broken. You can actually hear it clunking and carrying on, so we have to pull that out. We just have to take the crown out, so we're going to replace the crown with that one. And this one had a 308 gear, and obviously we have a 323 in this car, so we're going to swap the ring gear under this one. But I have some of this white paint we're going to paint the wheels in. Got some primer as well and some clear, and we also need to paint the rear calipers because we're doing a dual caliper setup. How good's that? Dual calipers. So that'll be in probably the next video. That's going to be what we're going to do. Once I get the car fully mechanically sorted, we're going to be doing the livery, which I will show you guys properly in another video. So another thing we have to do is I've got bucket seats coming from Raceworks. So huge thanks to Raceworks for they're going to send me out a set of their new bucket seats. So we're going to modify them to fit the factory rails. And I also have over here somewhere, I have a boss kit to suit the AU, and we're going to be running a deep dish wheel. Probably not a quick release, but a deep dish. And then while we have all that sorted, in here we need to run side intrusion bars from the cage all the way down to the front here, because that's part of regulations now. They want us to run side intrusions so we can take you guys out, passengers, and tandem with other cars. So the cage itself is good. It is approved cage, but we need to make sure we have side intrusions, which is fine because this car's never going to see the road again, and I don't mind making some side intrusions. So I'm going to have a go at probably making them myself. Obviously they're going to be at double ASA spec, so even if we make them and get someone to weld them in nicely, because they check the welds and everything for scrutineering. But I've just looked at the camera and it's 5 minutes I've been talking, so I'm going to shut up, get this car ready, up on stands. Yeah, you guys have seen how to change a diff in these, so it's nothing really exciting. If you go back to several months ago, I did a full in-depth video on how to change one of these diffs, but in my E-Series, because it's exactly the same concept. All right guys, so a little bit of time has passed and we are back. So had a bit of a schmozzle off camera, but we're all good to go. So in my toolkit, I'm missing the one Allen to pop the axle bolts out because they're an 8mm Allen head. My toolkit is missing the one 8mm, so I must have misplaced it, but luckily I went down to the parts store and got another set so I could crack those bolts, get it out. So I'm gonna sit that back in like that so it doesn't leak. I can already see our oil is looking a bit silvery, so fantastic. My caliper's fallen off the trailing arm, so try not to leave your calipers freestanding. Try and sit it in the trailing arm like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go to the other side, do the same thing. My rattle gun's over there, but it's still broken, so I still need to get one, so I'm just hand tooling it, but it's okay, we can still do it with hand tools. And then I'm just gonna go underneath there, pop the Watts link arms off the diff cover and then undo all the bolts, pop the cover off, and we'll undo the diff. And we'll see how bad it is. So yeah, the diff well is coming out of the wheel seals here also looks a little bit silver. So I think the inside of that diff chewed itself to bits. So we'll go back on the other side, do the same thing, come back when we start doing the arse end of it apart. And yeah, we'll drain it. Actually, probably drain it now, and because there's a drain bolt at the bottom. This so on these diff covers, there's a bigger bolt at the bottom, and that acts as a drain bolt. So we'll crack him. Oh Jesus! Oh God! Get the tub out of the way. There we go. God, I hate diff oil so much. Give this center a good, I'll give this whole diff a good clean out. So imagine there's no oil in it. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, she's silver. Oh yeah. Definitely. I can just see all the flakes coming out. That's fantastic. Interesting to see when we pop this filler plug off. I'll have a look at the magnet. Sorry for the construction noise behind, guys. It's, oh God. It's always a thing around here. New developing areas. It's draining. Let's have a look at the magnet and see if anything comes out of the magnet. Oh, there's a little bit of stuff on there. It's a little bit on there, but more like sludge. There is a bit of metal on there. I can see it from here. Yeah, I think the diff just chewed itself inside. I think it's more so the welds. Just wasn't done properly before. I didn't do this diff. It was a mate of mine before me. So it's looking a bit black, but a bit silver as well. We can't really see it, but yeah, nice. Now we're up to the exciting bit. Taking the cover off. Just trying to. Now there's two dowels. You gotta pop them off here, and then one at the top as well. It does get a bit annoying. So just, yeah, like that. That's off that one, that's off that one, that's off. Bang, diff. Well, if you have a look in there, there's barely anything holding it together. It's supposed to be all welded up, so I think that's just broken. Yeah, there's all shit in the bottom there. I think all the welds have just gone. When my mate welded this center in, when it was in my old E-series, it was before I owned it, he literally just took the cover off, didn't even clean it, and just welded it while it was still all in. You can do that, but they're just so hard to clean. So yeah, this is going to be fun to get out. So I changed it not too long ago, so hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. But let's get in there and try and pop her out. All right, guys, hopefully you can see well. I've got birds screaming, I've got trucks coming in and out, but we do have the diff ready to come out. Okay, so that bearing cap should come off. Like that. Just make sure we don't lose the diff. The diff should just roll out. Here come the shim, that's a shim. One shim. Oh shit, I'm such an idiot. There's still an axle. Hopefully I can get it with my foot. Push the axle out. Like that. Now it should come out. There we go. Come out. Oh. Come my lady. Come my lady. Alright, so under further inspection, yeah, it was the diff. One side's gone. So that side in there, you can see all the spider gears and that. They're going to rotate over each other. This side's still nice and full, but the other side, the welds have just given up and gone, and all the swarf is inside there, so we're going to clean that out nicely with some brake cleaner. So now my next sort of problem, I mean, I probably could just re-clean this and weld this up, but the only problem is I haven't got a rattle gun and I need to get that ring gear off. So hopefully if I sort of clamp it somewhere. Now guys, if you're going to do one of these diffs, remember that to undo these, they're opposite thread. So usually they have an L on the bolt heads. I know that diff center over there does. On the Borgies, they've got an L showing that it's left-hand thread. So actually tightening it this way will loosen the bolts. So what I'm hoping is I can just sit the diff like that, get a ratchet onto it, and just hammer and just break them free. So I've done it before with my 31 diff, so we'll give it a crack with this one. If not, my mate should be home that lives not too far around the corner, and we'll see if I can borrow his gun. But I didn't do these up crazy tight because I did them with my Ryobi, so shouldn't be crazy tight to put it back, to loosen them off. I made a decision, guys. I'm gonna re-weld that side of the diff where the welds went. So I've just degreased it, blew it out a little bit, let it sit in the sun, dry off a bit, and I'm just going to hit it with the welder, fill it back up and do it properly. I think it just wasn't clean last time when my buddy did it, so at least this time we can clean it up, make sure it's all good, and then we'll just fill her up. Yeah, every time I give it power, that inside right will spin because that's obviously still welded. Turn the amps up on the Viper, and the good thing about it is we do have the spare center, so if we're at the track and we're in trouble, I'm sure we can have the gun there. And I mean, it'd be really easy just to swap the ring gear under this one because we know we've welded this one up nicely, but I can't really get a rattle gun at the moment, so I'm just going to weld that up. And hey, that should do the trick because the diff itself is still good. Just all the shit that's come out of it, unfortunately. Fill her up, buttercup. She's smoking. I don't even see it. It's smoking. That's going to be very hot. Oh yeah. Let that sit for a bit, and while we wait, I'm going to prep the wheels and get them ready to paint white. So bring them out, sand them down, and get ready for paint. Bit of time has gone past, guys. We have the diff over here. I'm just waiting for that to cool down because it's about as hot as the sun at the moment. And then over here, we're just prepping our rotor grid. So these are obviously the back wheels. We've already hit one just to see how it's going to turn out. So I'm really happy with how it's looking. I just gave it a nice, I didn't really sand it too much. It was really shiny. So I just Scotch brighted the whole wheel and just masked up the valve stem and just hit it with some white. I got it sitting in the sun now just to warm off a bit. Then I'll hit it with some clear. So I'm really happy with that. And then very, very roughly, I'm just gonna go over inside the barrel as well. You can probably see here how there's a bit of shine there, a bit of roughness there. So I'm just trying to get the shine off the wheel itself. A nice coarse Scotch Brite, just to get into all those cracks and crevices. And then I'm just gonna hit it with some Prepsol. Clean it all up. I got my towels over here. Clean it inside and out. They are a bit dusty, so we'll get it all nice and clean. Use a tack cloth to clean it. And then the same thing as what we've done over there. We'll just get some cardboard and line it inside the tyres here, because I don't really care too much. These are the rear ones, so we're going to be constantly blowing tyres off it. But these are actually really grippy tyres. I think they're Zetas. Yeah, they're Zetas. Let's get this nice and clean. I'm going to whack a coat of clear on this one. Don't worry, guys. I've got it on a floor mat, so I don't get any paint on the driveway. And then while I'm prepping this one, we'll get ready to whack that diff back in. So first thing I'm going to do is hit it with some primer, just some grey primer. Pretty sure this can's nearly out, but well, I should have another one. Should. But yeah, just tack this primer on, just enough so we have coverage. It'll help adhere our top coat. As well, if there's any reaction in that, we'll catch it early. We can rub it back and then repaint it if there's any fish-eyeing or any sort of reaction. So it's always good to prime. So if you're wondering what paint I'm using just acryl. It's a white gloss paint, so it's a good external paint, and I've never actually used this for wheels, but I presume it's going to be pretty good. Now still heaps in this can, so I've done one wheel already. Let's have a look how this wheel's looking. It's looking really nice, really nice. I have hit that with a bit of clear, so that looks really good. Let that dry off, and I'm just going to hopefully leave a bit so we can do the inside of the barrels, because obviously when you paint a white face for a black wheel, you're going to see the black barrel behind it. So hopefully enough paint left over so we can just, it don't have to be pretty on the inside, just so it's white. So it's probably gonna get dirty anyway from all the brake dust and everything. I cannot wait to do delivery on this, guys. You guys are gonna freaking love it. But yeah, I've just talked with my old man, because if you don't know, my old man was actually a paint and panel guy, you know, many years ago, and did a lot of race cars and that. So he's gonna help me do delivery on this. So I can't freaking wait. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, I guess we'll have ourselves. Look at the Excel, do you like it? Tesla. Haze some white on. And the first coat's always just, you guys have probably watched me do this a million times, but I always say just get the material on. You don't want to cover, you want to cover, but not fully. You just want the material to cover and tack on. And having a great primer underneath is good, because the white will pop a little bit better. First coat, done. I've already hit this with degreaser just then, so I'm just gonna clean all this out. Oh, look at all the crap coming out of there. Oh, look at that, guys. All right, let's get all this out. So that happens when you poorly weld your diff and you end up with all the fragments and swarf from it. So we'll get all this nice and clean. Look at that, it's just all silver. Wow. All right, so I just spent a little while cleaning that up. Now the fun part is getting our center in. So usually I like to set the shims in there, sometimes even getting a gulp of oil and just letting them sort of stick. This is a bit where either it's going to take forever or it goes in the first go. It's always the case. So a lot of the times, just sort of, it doesn't help that this diff is actually quite warm. But just sit it in one shim and then try and do the same in the other. It's very rare, but sometimes you do get it first go. Oh, don't tell me I got it first go. I did. Oh my god. I got it first go. First try. Alright, ladies and gents, I just had a phone call. Make sure that the caps press in okay on the journals, just so it doesn't want to try and walk in unevenly on the shims. So when these tighten down, you just want to do them gently. Now I wouldn't recommend tightening these down to pull the diff in, but if the diff can't go in on its own naturally, sometimes just doing these very gently will just get it and be a little bit of a helping hand. I already see the diff just moving into where it's got to be. See how as soon as I put a little bit of pressure on them, it just pushes the cups. Make sure the diff turns nice and easy. See our backlash? That's our backlash. Until these get actually tight. That's good. That means it's sitting in there properly. When these start to tighten up, you'll feel a difference between like tightening up and then sort of getting caught up. They'll sort of abruptly just stop when they tighten up. When they get caught up, they'll slightly go, they'll go very hard as you turn and they'll sort of keep wanting to go. And then that's when you start stripping and doing sad things. Oh, look at that, nice. Turn the drive shaft too. Very good. I'll put the axles in and I'll clean all this up. Get ready to put the rear cover on with some RTV. Get rid of that sludge crap build up there, all the old fucking weld material. And yeah, start putting this rear end back together. Well guys, a bit of time's gone past and we have both wheels here. They look awesome. They came out really good. I'm really happy with them. Not bad for a rattle job, but they're gonna really go well with the drift livery that's going on this thing. So just off camera, I quickly put the cover on with some silicone, whacked all the sides back together, so they're all on. All I've left to do is put the Watts links back on, give some time for the silicone to dry, and then put the diff oil in it. Take it around a block, and yeah, we've already established, I had the misters come out before, and just turn the wheels and made sure it was locked and it's all good again. So I'll quickly put those Watts links on, I'll put oil in it, and we'll get it off the jack stands, drop it down, see how it looks with the white wheels, and test the diff. What a difference. That looks mad. That looks so much better. So there's the black wheels for reference, and here's the white. So obviously we need this color wheel on the car for the livery we're going to be doing. Go around to this side, the nicer side. That looks so good. God, I'm actually really happy with the way these wheels came out. It looks so clean. So definitely gonna do the fronts in another day. I'm running out of time. You can probably tell it's a bit darker now. The only thing we have left to do is see if our locker's back. So we've tested it on the ground. We have not tested it on the road. It's amazing how much quieter this car is. And now when we go backwards, I want to make sure we're locked. Yeah, it's definitely locked. You guys could hear it. Oh yeah, she's locked again. Very good. That was like 6-7 hours of work, probably condensed in like 10 minutes of filming. But we have the mighty AU with a working diff again. We have a spare diff for it as well in case we need to replace it at the track. We have the rear wheels painted and the front wheels will paint as well. So you have an idea of how the base of the car is going to be for our new design that we're doing for this thing. So while I'm here actually, if anyone, and if I haven't got one by now, Does anyone know where I can get a JZX 100 chaser from Bumper Bar? If anyone has one, I am on the hunt for one and I still can't find one. It's the last thing I need to finish this car off. We'll come back in a couple of days or tomorrow whenever I get time. We'll do the fronts and yeah, whatever else we can tackle. We still have bucket seats to do, we still have side intrusions to do, still have deep dish wheel to do. We have to fix the breaking up, so plugs and leads. Yeah, wrap the car is going to be a big one, so that's going to be next episode, of course. But yeah, we're getting there, guys. So we'll see you when we come back to work on the beast. All right, guys, it's a couple days later. Now today is a weekday, so I do apologize because over the road there, they're building like 50 houses and it's so loud. This part we're going to finish doing the front wheels and get the wheels all done because not this weekend, but the next weekend, we're going to start doing the graphics on this. So I can't freaking wait, I'm so excited for that. Got to move the cheap SS out the way and the Patrol. I'm going to spin this around and reverse it in. And it's not as ideal weather today, even though it's nice and sunny for painting because it's a bit windy, but should still be fine to get this this small stuff out of the way because this is what always takes time. I have been umming and ahhing. I haven't got any Torx bits on me at the moment, but I want to pull the seats out and rip all the carpet and everything out. And I want to get the rear parcel shelf out, all the seat belts out, and the rear door cards off, and most likely the headlining off too. So I just want to rip all the interior out as well. But I think we'll do that in the next episode when we start doing the livery. Let's start her up, give it a cold start while we move the other cars. It's not very exciting on cold start, it's pretty quiet, but see how she sounds. And move this thing out the way. So if you guys are wondering what's going on with this thing, we've got a few parts coming for it. So I've got to speak to a buddy of mine. We've got some nice stuff to go on it. So there should be a couple of videos on this coming up very soon. Get her up. Beautiful. Let's have a look in here, guys. If you want to see the lock kit, the coilovers, the AU house lock kit, our gold brakes, our GK Tech spacers as well. Now after a few track days, I haven't established any rubbing, which is good. And I have had this thing maxed out at full lock. I know on the other car it was rubbing on that brake line there, so I was always pretty wary of that, but it seems to be all good. The brake lines haven't been snagged again like last time, but everything's looking pretty good in here. All right, well, I guess we're gonna clean this wheel up and give her a bit of a lick of white. Just pop those center caps out, Volk, and yeah, we're good to go. What I've done is I've just, usually I put either cards or cardboard, whatever. It's a bit windy today, so I've opted to go for the smaller cardboard so it doesn't all blow away. Tuck it in between the bead and the lip of the wheel. And I'm just gonna wait for the wax and grease remover to dry off completely. Give it one wipe with a dry towel. Just applying a little bit of the white now, just to make sure everything's okay. I do see a little bit of fish eyeing in a few places, but it's all right. The sun's actually come out now to grace us and hopefully cook this a bit. As I say that, the sun's starting to go away. But yeah, just trying to fight the freaking wind as well. We've got the white sprayed on, and of course we had a bug land right there. That one is freshly done. This one over here, it looks pretty decent. There's a little bit of, so straight on looks pretty good, but if we look down here, there's a bit of reaction down there. So it's only in that one spoke by the looks of it, so I can probably rub that back later and fix that, so that's not the end of the world. I'm probably gonna do some work to the GU today as well, but it won't be in this video, of course. This is for the AU. The 32 over in the corner here, looking good. Been driving this a little bit more. The clutch slave, or clutch master, is leaking inside the cabin. So I think it's gone back through the rod and leaking down. So I've got to order one of those and fix this. And the 180 over here, just chilling. I haven't driven this in actually a long time. Nothing wrong with it, I just haven't driven it in a while. I do start it up here and there. Probably drove it about a month ago, but it's covered in dust. I don't know if you can see how much dust is on it. Just from sitting in the naughty corner, that's what I call it. And we've got the skylines outside as well, because the AU has taken place for the last couple of nights in here. So I've got to bring the skyline in, because we do have our meet this week, our car meet, which is on Wednesday. All right, guys, I'm gonna drop her down. Tell me how she looks. Oh wow, What a difference, holy shit. What a difference white wheels make. Oh my goodness. All right, I think I'm gonna get it out onto the street and we'll have a better look. That looks insane. What a difference white wheels makes. That looks so sexy. Let's have a look so I don't trip over. A bit windy out here, guys, I'm very sorry. Oh, that looks so freaking good. Look at that. That's gonna be fat with the freaking graphics. Oh my God, I can't wait, guys. Oh, it's amazing what freaking some wheel paint can do. It just looks less like derelict, I guess, if you want to say that. But, oh, I love the way it looks, guys. I can't wait to do the graphics. I know I keep saying it, but I just cannot wait. Oh, it's looking snazzy. Just like the wheels really complement the calipers and the spaces behind it, and oh, it looks so good. It looks nice and clean too. Love it. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video of replacing the diff and painting the wheels in the AU, the mighty Drift AU Falcon, and we'll see you all in the next video. See you later, everyone.